rotate, and we're getting into picks and bans now.
All right, so we have CA4W on the blue side and Phoenix on the red side.
And there comes that Yasuo ban again. They really do not want to see, I believe it's Ronan, I'm not sure if it's Ronan or like, but they don't want to see Phoenix getting that Yasuo.
Yeah, that's definitely a solid ban. I mean, I don't want to see a Yasuo in most games, but especially on the side of Phoenix, I think that's definitely smart.
Yeah, so I'm curious what the ban is going to be over for them. They do get the Rengar. They decide that is the scariest thing that they have seen this entire tournament. And we get the Kai'Sa
ban. But you can see, oh, no, it is CA4W banning out the Kai'Sa. Okay, I got confused for a second. I was like, they banned out their own champion, but no.
Yeah,
they did switch sides.
What I feel like might end up happening here is like they either are going to, I think they might go for the Xayah just to see if they can get Link on a different champion. Because Link is doing very well at carrying these games. However, Ronan has been very consistent. So we might get the Xayah ban, or we might just get like another targeted ban towards like the Rek'Sai, because Thumpy has been performing phenomenally, and we get the Xayah. Wow.
Yeah, so they definitely, I think this is smart. This is the thoughtful banning that I wanted to see from the side of CA4W, because they're not giving Link either Xayah or Kai'Sa. Now he has to get something that's sort of second best.
And I will say, this is one of those things where like they did have first pick, and I don't, maybe it's just Long Black Cat is not comfortable on Xayah or a Kai'Sa, but they could have taken the Kai'Sa away.
That's true.
That's something I don't know if they considered. But Pantheon was left up. Elvon, I think he played Pantheon yesterday, but Pantheon is also just a very strong champion right now. Totally forgot that he existed, but I guess they didn't they preferred the Pantheon versus the GP.
And that actually makes sense in terms of the Kai'Sa and Xayah bans then, is because they were planning to first pick that Pantheon, so they wanted to make sure that the ADC pool was safe.
Yeah, and I'm curious if they're actually just going to pick the ADC in the beginning part of this. They're trolling me again, Thumpy. Why are you doing this to me?
Yeah, don't do something that you can't follow through on, because I want to see a Teemo. I will walk over there and I will tell you to lock in if you're going to hover this.
I don't think Pantheon, or I don't think Teemo would be good into Pantheon or whatever mid laner is, just because Teemo's kind of a little weak right now. But I mean, the mushroom buff, it could be really good. He is a living ward, so you guys are called. Oh wait, no, this isn't C4W. Doesn't matter. So we get the Ezreal. I was assuming that we were going to get either Ashe, Ezreal, or Lucian. Those are some of the stronger ADCs right now that perform well within this meta. And plus, Ezreal can just Arcane Shift away, and he still has Klepto. So I think that's a really good pick for Link.
Now, I wonder if Long Black Cat is actually going to play Caitlyn, because Caitlyn was banned out against him in the last game. So, he actually goes for Sivir.
Yeah, so I think that the Sivir is very consistent against the Leona. Honestly, I don't like this Nautilus pick. I mean, I do like Nautilus as a champion and like a pick in general, but I think something like a Morgana might have been better. The Morgana Sivir, you just have such a safe lane. Like, why not just go for that? But Rek'Sai comes through. We've got a little bit of kind of a hard engage for the side of C4W with like being able to ult in with Sivir and just having that Pantheon and like Nautilus run at people. So we'll see what the mid lane and the jungle picks end up being for C4W.
Yeah, and the Nautilus, I'm curious to see how it's going to work. They didn't have to pick it in terms of like taking it away from the other side, because Phoenix had already locked in Leona, so it wasn't like, hey, yeah, maybe we can do something like a Morgana, but we better take the Nautilus because he's not banned and we don't want him to take it. So that wasn't the case. So we'll see how it works out. And I agree that I do like the Sivir into the Leona because of the shield.
As far as bans go, we got the Darius coming out, so banning that against Baby Boy Gaby. He does very well with Darius, but we might end up just getting another Shen. His Shen has been very consistent, doing exactly what you need to do, shielding people at the right time, getting good taunts. We did get the Nico and the Olaf ban. I don't really know. I mean, his Olaf worked out really well, and Olaf does work with Pantheon and Nautilus as far as like a dive comp goes, but I think there's plenty of champions that that Fusion can play. We do get the Orianna ban.
Really smart. I like that. I like to see that. Yeah, even though Ronan didn't do amazingly on Orianna, he didn't get that many kills, he did land those ultimates, and they were key in some of the team fights. So I do like to see that ban against him.
Yeah, and I wonder what we're going to get. I saw that Heimerdinger over there. It was kind of funny. The Poppy.
Oh, okay. That's something new.
That's fun. That's fun because like Poppy with her W being able to deny dashes from Pantheon, deny the Q in from the Nautilus. I think, well, I believe it. I actually don't know if it denies his Q. It is kind of a dash, but maybe not. Anyway, it denies the Pantheon at least, and maybe any hard engage that Fusion could pick from like maybe a Jarvan or, yeah. Oh, and this is I thought we might get the Rise here. I think that CF4W played Rise Pantheon, but Rise Pantheon, with both their ultimates being kind of like long range, like traveling, they can roam a little bit more. Wait a minute.
And the Kale. So Nautilus jungle?
Nope, I think we're gonna get Pantheon jungle.
Pantheon jungle.
Probably
okay.
Rise mid and Kale top, or reverse those two, and then probably Pantheon jungle. Pantheon jungle is pretty consistent. That seems to match Fusion's playstyle.
Oh, are we gonna see another Vel'Koz?
Oh wow, we're getting your favorite.
I do like Vel'Koz.
I want to see it. Let me see it. Let me see it. Come on, let's
yeah.
go.
All right.
All right.
So what I'm noticing immediately that I think is interesting is Phoenix won this first game, but you looking at their team comp at the moment, they're doing something completely different.
Yeah.
So it could be a couple things. Either they felt that they weren't particularly comfortable on that first setup where they were like, no, that was too close.
Yeah.
We almost lost them. We need to do something different. Or else they did feel comfortable, but they're specifically picking these different champions to go for a different play style, different plays to throw off their opponents. So I'm curious which one it was, but I'm definitely interested to see that even though most of the champions that they played in the last game were still available, they decided not to go, again, let's say for that Shen or for the Braum.
Yeah, a little crazy shit here. I am so curious how this is going to work out because the Poppy is not going to do that well against Kale. Like, she'll do a lot of damage early, I think, kind of like, or she can do a lot of damage, like, versus Shen, and she has a lot of base damages, but once Kale gets 6, she should be able to kind of pepper Poppy with auto attacks. And
Pepper
like,
Poppy.
Yeah,
say
Pepper
that
Poppy.
fast.
I don't know about that. Pepper Poppy with auto attacks, no. But, I think she'll be able to get, and, like, I'm just hoping that Elvon playing the Kale top, like, he'll be a little bit more conservative with the way that he's fighting her, or fighting with her, because those ultimates were not what we needed. I think it'll be a lot better with Pantheon, because Pantheon you can just go full damage and just do a lot of things. That's more Fusion's playstyle, and it'll match really well with the Kale. Now the Vel'Koz, though.
Yeah, I think one of the differences between Phoenix's comp from last game and this game is they have a little more of an aggressive comp here. Because if you think about, like, Leona is essentially a more aggressive Braum.
Yeah.
Right? She has fewer shields, right? She fewer ways to protect you physically with the shield. She actually has to physically go in herself, like in a more aggressive style, to stun the opponents to protect her teammates. And again, her ultimate is up more often than Braum. It has a lower cooldown. So definitely a more aggressive playstyle here on the side of Phoenix than we saw in the last game from them.
Yeah, and like with Poppy, Rek'Sai, and Leona being able to just be that front line for both Vel'Koz and Ezreal, if it ever comes to a point where like maybe they're getting sieged on too, because like there's more of an all-in from the Rise, the Pantheon, the Nautilus, and the Sivir being able to run at you, and then just having Kale in the background as like a carry. But like the thing is, Vel'Koz and Ezreal, they're just going to be throwing out like the Q for Ezreal and the Q for Vel'Koz, the W for Vel'Koz. There's just so many particles that are going to be coming out at CF4W. So this looks really even. I want to say, I would love for CF4W to win. They could do this really well. I think this is going to be determined by the early mid game, but I'm going to go with Phoenix as my prediction for this because Ronin's Vel'Koz was very good yesterday. Link has been playing phenomenally, and like a good Ezreal player can carry a lot of things, and there's just a really good front line from Poppy, Rek'Sai, and Leona, and I think it's just going to become too overwhelming versus C4W.
Okay. If C4W can pull it off in this game, which lane do you think is it going to be that carries them to victory? So like where should they be focusing their resources?
Mid. I think the Rise. The Rise is something that like if Sim has been playing, now Sim, he destroyed Ronin last game, just 1v1 Ahri versus the Orianna. So he could do really well against Vel'Koz, but Vel'Koz can just sit in the back. And if that's a very like comfortable pick for Ronin to play, then Ryzen isn't going to be able to do that. However, if they get what they need to get going in the mid game, the Sivir starts ulting in, and then the Rise is able to just run and get one stun from the Pantheon, a knock-up from the Nautilus, then it could be deadly for Phoenix. And Phoenix did lose the early mid game last time. It's just there was a lot of throws from C4W. So we're going to have to see.
I like the amount of mobility on the side of CA4W between Pantheon ult and Rise ult and Sivir ult. They can get wherever they're going really fast. So I think they're going to stick with that aggressive playstyle that we saw in the first game where they were the ones more often than not initiating those team fights.
Yeah, so we're going to have to see. We're going to start actually getting into the load screen for Game 1. Take a quick look at their runes. Everything seems pretty standard right now. we've got Klepto for Ezreal and Kale. That's pretty common. Poppy's got the Grassly and Dying for if she ever can fight. Pantheon going Conquer again. He might go tank Pantheon. That would be weird, but it could work out.
I'm curious to see the beginning of the game because as you remember, last game, it was Long Black Cat who was actually quite sloppy standing there in the river and almost died and was first blood, but was able to flash away. So I'm wondering if they're going to have a similar start or if they're looks like both of them are just sort of fanning out to protect the entrances to the jungle.
Yeah, so we're going to get into game 1 here. It doesn't look like, I haven't seen any crazy pings, but this looks like a more respectable start. You see both mid laners can see each other. The jungler is showing out with the support. The support and the AD, I mean, they're guarding the entrances again, but I think Link, or not Link, but if it was Long Black Cat, he's going to be a little bit more considerate. However, I don't think there's really that much threat of either of these teams like killing each other besides like a Nautilus hook and maybe a Pantheon stun. But I think CA4W may be a little bit scared.
And you can see something that Phoenix didn't do as well, I think, last game was having the vision control. I felt like CA4W did better at that in the last game. But you can see that they were learning from their mistakes, and they actually already have 2 good wards down where I don't know if CA4W has put down any wards yet.
Yeah, so as far as like where vision is, it looks like there is a deeper ward by CA4W's Raptors. So if Pantheon passes up top, then they know he's going to be starting chickens or going for his blue. If he passes down, if they don't see him pop up the null, then they know he's at Krugs. So we also see the Rek'Sai starting red too.
Yep, for both junglers. Pretty standard.
All right. So I don't think we're going to see any crazy fights early. I mean, we could. I mean, Ezreal Leona can do a lot of damage, but like there's always a threat of the disengage from like the spell shield and like Nautilus just getting a hook on someone. But we didn't see Chaemin do that well with the Nautilus last game. We'll see how he plays. Wait, we're actually going for an aggressive. And we got a double flash from both Pantheon and Fusion is just going in, and Fusion actually might just die here. All right, that was really aggressive. He kept going, and I'm not sure why he played that so aggressive. Like, they got away, you guys flashed, and you didn't get anything. Now, that's so much information for Phoenix. Phoenix can be like, okay, you know what, Rek'Sai, head up top, go kill this Kale, don't let her have anything. That was a huge misplay.
And Sivir actually had to use her heal to save Fusion there. So, yeah, they used a couple summoner spells there and didn't really get much for it except for an Ezreal flash, which doesn't mean too much on Ezreal because of his ability.
Arcane Shift?
Arcane Shift.
Yeah,
I was like, some kind of shift.
Some sort of shift, yeah. We see that Thumpy actually just roamed into the blue to take that. And we're going to see the most common Rek'Sai gank. She's going to tunnel over this wall, and we're going to see the W in from Poppy. They're going to get the knock up here. She decides to flash instantly. Good job on Elvon, like just playing that very safe.
Yeah, it's worth it to use that flash in the beginning of the game because you're not really expecting, upcoming team fights at the moment or anything like that. So your flash has the time to come off cooldown, but at the same time, you're being really safe. You're not becoming first blood, and so yeah, I think that was definitely a good play by Kale.
And you see that Sim is doing his thing. Thumpy is just straight up running into Sim. I think Sim will just be like, okay, I can run away from this. There isn't really going to be much going on, but I like the pressure that Thumpy is keeping on all of them right now. Even showing right now, it's like, okay, I'm here. I'm probably going to come back. Like, do you want to keep stepping up, or are you going to die?
Now Fusion here is taking Rek'Sai's blue, and
Wait,
Rek'Sai is
we get
caught
the
out.
onto the Rek'Sai. Rek'Sai should be able to flash away, but like there is a Q from Pantheon that could get the crit. Sivir throws the Q, and it doesn't.
That was so close.
Barely doesn't finish off Rek'Sai. You hate to see that for C4W. That was so close. I thought we might have gotten another Q from Pantheon. Pantheon might die to the Vel'Koz here, and just goes down clean. We get the Q onto the Ezreal. Ezreal Arcane shifts out, and Chaemin's trying to tank this up right now, but there's still an engage from Steam Bun Buns. Vel'Koz is in the background. He doesn't have much mana right now, and Sim might actually take down Steam Bun Buns, no problem. And we do get a return kill. There is another knockup onto the Vel'Koz, and Sim has the blue buff. He might do something. Wait, he gets the last auto attack on Ezreal and kills him. Oh my goodness, that turned out so much better for CA4W than I thought. I think that was I believe that was, 2 for 2.
Yeah, that was a great play. Leona went really aggressive. She actually flashed in to follow up on that, but eventually went down because there just wasn't a follow from her team.
So yeah, just looking at this too. So like you see Fusion here. I think he might be a little bit tilted because the positioning here is like, all right, what do I do? Vel'Koz kills him, no problem. But like the Nautilus is like, okay, I can do a lot of damage to this Ezreal. Sim is here. He does have blue buff, so he'll be able to get a decent amount of damage. But that kind of save your E from Leona. Like that, I don't know if she really wanted it. She gets taken down, but Vel'Koz got 2 kills from that. So flashes away, no problem, and you know. Sim getting that last auto attack. That was a little aggressive, but it paid out well. So the mid laner is definitely making plays here.
And back to farming for now. You can see that Fusion is, again, putting down more wards. They really learned from last game, and they're not going to be caught out in their own jungle anymore.
I do want to comment, too, that this Sivir is 10 CS over Ezreal, which doesn't really mean that much. And we are actually getting a gank onto the Vel'Koz. Vel'Koz is going to go down here, doesn't have flash, and just gets killed by Sim. That was really good. That's what I want to see from CF4W if they want to try and win this game. Is like his Pantheon needs to be everywhere. I want to see. I don't know what his runes are, but if he gets Mobies, I think it would be to their benefit to get more ganks than the Vel'Koz. Like when he doesn't have flash, do not let him push up.
Yeah, absolutely. Vel'Koz is not a mobile champion at all. So whenever his flash is down, I agree. I want to see Pantheon in that mid lane.
And it's so easy, too, because Pantheon just shield, denying all that tower damage. Like, what are they going to do? It's like, oh, I guess I'm dead.
Now, Rek'Sai is taking the scuttle here in front of Baron Pit. Is she going to try that play again on the Kayle, tunneling under that wall?
Poppy's
Yes, she
taking
will.
a lot of damage right now. Rek'Sai is coming over. Kayle does have her ultimate. If she pre-ults here, oh, she's taking so much damage. And that was just a huge misplay from Elvon. Like, he could have ulted that. Like, there wasn't... And this is where when you get tired to your play, this isn't anything like when you get out that neutral of like, okay, there has to be a prediction here. If she would have pre-ulted, then none of that damage would have came out. If Rek'Sai would have waited for the ult, that's fine, but that gives Kayle more time to actually position out of this. So you see, she's getting some autos off. She starts positioning towards the wall. She should have ran towards the middle, pre-ulted that first knockup from Rek'Sai, and then she could have possibly either killed Poppy or maybe gotten away.
Yeah, I actually really like that play because one of the things that junglers really need to be able to do to be good junglers is keep track of timers. So Thumpy went up to that lane once, got the flash out of the Kayle, left, and then he came back before Kayle's flash was up again. So that was actually really well executed on the side of Phoenix.
Yeah, and like Kayle's still going to be fine. Like she won't really lose that much from this, but it's just one of those like micro things where it's like, why, you know, and this has happened in the FPX game versus IG, where the Shy did not use his ultimate on Kayle. And the thing is, like, you can't greed like that. Like, we get it, you're good players, but you still have to respect the amount of damage other people were putting out. And, like, you know, get people into this mind game of, like, oh, are you actually going to knock me up? You know, what's the most optimal plan? And it's just very greedy from Elvon to save his ult there.
And Kayle is bullying out that Poppy, doing a good job pushing that lane. She is up in CS, about 10 CS up over Poppy, so... Like you said, you know, in the end, I hope it doesn't that kill on her isn't too bad.
Yeah, it should be fine. It's Kayle. She's gonna take some damage here. I think Kayle will be able to run this out, no problem. She's taking like actually not that much from Poppy. That was a pretty even trade for the most part. And Kayle doesn't even have like a completed item. There is the Bambi Cinder for the Poppy, but how are you gonna utilize the burn damage if you can't get on him? You know. And I do want to say that Sim is performing well. They're going to get this Drake here, I think, no problem. I mean, you see the Rek'Sai coming in, but the smite is up. They take it. Wait, Nautilus goes in onto the Rek'Sai. They call this so fast. But Vel'Koz in the background gets the ultimate on so many people, and there is an Ignite taking onto the Pantheon. He isn't going to make it out of here. And then the Sivir goes down as well. Very well played from Phoenix. You know, losing the Dragon, but getting, that looks like 3 kills.
Back. Oh, 3 kills back.
And I'm just... The positioning, I think, from Sim... Oh, wait. Okay, Sim barely got away with the back versus the Rek'Sai. I was watching that. I was like, what's going to happen here?
But they did get the Cloud Drake, and we were talking about this during Champion Select, that CA4W has a very mobile comp, and now they got a Cloud Drake on top of that. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do with it.
Yeah, so Sim here, you see how he's like stepping up with no mana. I think he just realizes, like, you know what? I actually can't do anything here. And that was just... It was... good on them getting the Dragon, but I think they should have realized, like, we can't blow flashes here. There's no way we're going to get this. It was, like, a good try from Shaman and Fusion to try going on to Rek'Sai, but Rek'Sai has proven time and time again to do something. We are getting a roam from the Pantheon here. We do get the knockup from Poppy, and that was just so beautiful. He's coming back, get the flash from the Poppy, and look at Fusion. He's like, all right, I've got the Cloud Drake. I'm probably, if he gets the slow, but there is a TP
TP,
returning from Ezreal. It's actually Ezreal, like, coming up here to defend him. So I actually like that more for
was
C4W.
so well timed
But
because Pantheon ulted in and then Poppy ulted him right back out.
But you see now, so like Long Black Cat is, they're just going to take these turret plating for free. I do like that they defended there, but I don't know how much they're really gaining from, you know, sending Ezreal up there for a TP.
Yeah, I don't think that was necessary. I mean, you don't really need to protect a Poppy. She was just walking away and she was doing just fine. And, you know, it wasn't like Pantheon was going to stick around to take the tower.
Yeah. I am curious, like, so Sim is going to get the blue here, which is, like, very valuable. I hope that Rek'Sai doesn't get a steal. There is a pink in this bush, so Sim is going to have to path around. Can't risk getting knocked up front by Vel'Koz.
So Rek'Sai hanging out here on the side of the mid lane, seeing if she can make something happen.
Oh, and she is running at Sim. She doesn't flash, gets the knockup, but we get the roam from the Nautilus. The stopwatch from the Ryze saves himself, and we're going to get an ult from Rek'Sai that's going to take down this Ryze, no problem. He should be able to walk out, but there is an Ignite that, I don't know, he does have a potion. He's going to live, no problem. Heal from the passive too. Good job from the Vel'Koz getting all this damage. We're going to get a fight top as well. Kayla's trying, oh, okay, holding off, no problem. Going to get some damage and just, you know, get these procs for her Klepto.
In the meantime, Phoenix is looking to take the first tower of the game. I don't know if they'll be able to finish it off because the plates are still up, but they do have 4 members of their team there, so they might be able to do it before more members of the... Nope, okay. They are backing off.
And this is something like watching this replay too, so like Sim gets taken down and Thumpy actually heals from the Rek'Sai passive with her energy, and then, you know, I like the roam from Shaman, but there just wasn't enough to actually deal with the Vel'Koz and the Rek'Sai, and this is why, like, you know, Champ Slot can be so... Oh, wait. Gets an ult, gets the flash, follows up with the E, takes him down, no problem. Good job on Elvon. That's the type of kill that you want to get. You know, you want to get really strong with Kayle. She's going to get the gunplay now. She'll probably get her attack speed boots. And again, this feels very similar to, I feel like, or close to last game, even though, like, Phoenix does have a lot more kills. So I'm curious if we're going to get kind of the same, like, snowball effect. Only difference, though, is Vel'Koz is obviously not, like, 0-5 like Oriana was.
Yeah, Ronan's doing much better this game than he was in the last game, but this Kayle is actually quite impressive. She's about 20 CS over Poppy at this point, and she just keeps growing this lead. So actually, you know how you're voting for Ryze? I think CA4W might be able to win by putting their resources in the top lane and having the Kayle carry them.
Now, but there's also just like Ryze. So Ryze is up 30 CS too. He does have the 2 kills. I mean, that was his first death. And Sim has been playing really well today. I don't know if he's going to go for Roa or if he's going to go... I think he'll probably go for a Roa just because it seems like it would be stronger. We are going to get a gank onto the Vel'Koz here. Vel'Koz does have flash, so I'm not really sure what the...
That was just for show. That was just asserting dominance, you know, because he ulted right under tower. He wasn't going to put out enough damage before he took too many tower shots there.
Yeah, but you keep seeing, like, Fusion seems to be making a lot of questionable, like, decisions as far as his ganks go, and I think it's just, like, the pressure of, like, if we lose this, this is over. And this is $2,500, like, on the line for them.
Yeah, it might be nerves, but like I said, we did
see... Hold on, we got the flash, the Hex Flash onto the Leona. Leona's going to throw the ult down. Sim is probably going to get this kill, no problem. Wait, she does flash, but Sim's going to walk up, throw the E, gets the Death Shard onto the Ezreal. Ezreal does follow up with an Arcane Shift. And look at Pantheon, tanks his turret beautifully. That's what I want to see. I want to see more 4-man dies. And if you have the TP up, like Sim does right now, going to go back and wait a minute, actually just dies the Vel'Koz. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so, you know, Ryze was like, all right, I helped out in the bot lane. I'm going to TP back mid to see if I can save that tower, and just dies as soon as he arrives.
So maybe, I mean, I did want to see the TP, but I didn't know, I wasn't considering where the position was for the Vel'Koz. I'm guessing he just got a knock up. We are going to get a gank onto the Kayle right now. She won't get stunned by the Poppy, but if she doesn't have her ultimate either, uses the Gunblade beautifully onto the Rek'Sai to stop her from getting the knock up. She knows she doesn't have flash because she flashed in her in their mid lane.
So, back to Fusion, I know you were saying that maybe it's the nerves and he's sort of making these questionable plays, but I do think it is within their style. I don't see him acting sort of inconsistent with what we've seen from them before, especially in the last game. You remember they were very aggressive. They initiated almost all the team fights, and that's what they're doing here. They're just sort of they're just going to go aggressive and see what sticks, you know?
I mean, I like that commitment. I just think, like, he could be playing these, like, just the random, like, Pantheon ult mid or it is, like, weird. And I think he had, like, an ult roam top that, like, it almost turned out really well. But, like, it's just, like, those little micro things. I'm like, why ult there? You know, why not just hold it? It didn't really seem like you've got that much. Maybe it was for the wave clear. Yeah, I mean, I guess that is, like.
You got to have the presence, too. I mean, that's part of it.
Oh, we might actually. So we get the knockup onto Leona. Leona does not have her flash up, and she's just going to be taken down clean by. No? Okay. Elvon, I didn't even see Elvon was down here. He was like, okay, they wanted to set up for Dragon. So the Hex Flash from Chaman, he's playing a little bit safer this game. He isn't kind of hardened again how he was. He gets the knockup, and he just completely tricks, you know, me and proves wrong what I was saying. You know, he goes in with that Q. I guess you're holding for the Dragon, but was it worth? Wait a minute. This Rek'Sai takes so much damage. Just taken down by Sim. There's a shutdown on Sim. Ultimate from the Kale. That's what I want to see. And look at this damage from this Rise. Wait a minute. And this Sivir is very strong. She almost gets the kill. Pantheon actually takes down the Vel'Koz, and I think that was essentially like, almost an ace. Poppy is split pushing, but how fast can a Poppy split push? That actually sounds like that could be a joke, you know, after all the peppering. But that was very well played. Good job to C4W. I think that's okay. This is the aggression we like seeing.
Yes, absolutely. This is the fight that we want to see in them, so they can take it to game 3.
So, okay, with this replay, all right, we got Kale sitting in the background. Lots of damage going on to this Rek'Sai. And Vel'Koz does get the ultimate, but, like, look at the ult onto the Pantheon. He does flash. He didn't need to flash there because he had the ultimate from the Kale. So a little misplay from Fusion, but did get the follow-up, and they killed both the Ezreal and the Vel'Koz. Kind of evening out this gold. It's basically the same exact gold. Very even game so far.
Yeah, even on towers as well, but you can see CA4W already has 2 dragons, while Phoenix has 0. So they're doing a good job with focusing more on objectives in this game.
And that's kind of how they were doing it last game, right? So, like, you were saying that they were getting all the objectives. It was just the micro play that messed them up against Ronin. But I don't know if Vel'Koz is going to do a lot of damage. I know we like the Vel'Koz pick, and he's doing really well, but I don't know if he'll be able to have maybe that same turnaround. But if he does land, like, you know, 1 W and gets the ult off, you know, it could, you know, do the same thing as Ronin was doing last game.
So and there's a team fight set up here.
Oh, no. So the Poppy actually knocks him out of the Leona ultimate. Shaman will go down here, but I don't know if they are really going to get that much for what they invested there. You know, Shaman is the support. He keeps dying anyway, whatever. I think we're expecting it at this point. But, like, you know what? They're positioning for Rift Herald. They're trying to get pressure mid and just, like, you know, just get them shoved up more under the turret so they have less priority towards Baron. So I think this is just more of a pressure play for Phoenix. I think they're going to take this Rift Herald down. I mean, they got the turret pretty low, and I think it's just waiting for Nautilus to get back here. Rise does have his Saris completed. He does the Roa completed. He is very strong. If there is any sort of, like, good engage from Pantheon, they might just take them down.
Yeah, I think that was a good play by Sivir. She did ult there to, you know, help clear out that wave and take down the Rift Herald, and I think that was a good play. Long Black Cat actually was a little bit late to the party. you saw that he was sort of bot side, you know, in the jungle, and then he was walking around very slowly to join the team. But he did get there in time, and they actually were able to save that turret.
Now, what about look at the Sivir versus the Ezreal? What do you think about the CS and the items here?
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, definitely 50 or 40 now CS lead. Wow.
So it's something that, like, I noticed that, and, like, but it still looks like Ezreal's one of those champions that, like, he's about to have a Triforce with the like, once he gets that Muramana. I think that spikes really hard compared to, like, Sivir. Now, Sivir, once she gets this IE complete, she is going to be hitting very hard, especially with, like, using her the Ricochet on her W and just hitting everyone in the team. So
yeah, with being behind, so behind in CS, I think Ezreal's doing a great job keeping up with his items and, you know, staying relevant in terms of damage that he's putting out.
Yeah, good job on Rise, just getting that blue there, taking away Phoenix's blue. I think that's, you know, getting on Rise is crazy because of how much mana he actually needs. In this game, I do want to say that CS in this game is actually a lot worse for Phoenix than I think it was last game. Like, the Poppy's very far behind, the Vel'Koz is far behind, the Ezreal is far behind. It might be a thing where, like, maybe C4W, like, the gold is even, but a lot of it is kind of focused on the Rek'Sai and the Vel'Koz.
It's not a bad place to focus it because, you know, Rek'Sai did do really well last game, or, you know, Thumpy on Rek'Sai, and Ronan on Vel'Koz did a great job yesterday, so it's not bad. But I agree that I do want to see some resources going towards Ezreal, because you definitely want your ADC to be able to be relevant in these late game team fights.
And this could be a thing where like maybe Link won't have as much impact just because he's not on those like comfortable strong ADCs. This isn't really a meta that focuses on like all the ADCs. It's really like the two, like the Kai'Sa and the Xayah that are just so strong. And if you get those banned out, like we're gonna see how Link performs in these bigger team fights.
Yeah, I was actually surprised to see him lock in Ezreal as opposed to something like Caitlyn.
Yeah, and Caitlyn's like really consistent right now. I think that it's less of like Caitlyn, while being very consistent, doesn't really offer that much. Like last night we saw Caitlyn get dove over and over and over again because she does get dove very easily.
And now we're jockeying for position here for another dragon. Teams are trying to put down vision, clear out vision.
Yep, and I think this might be a thing where like maybe CO4W will choose to like trade for it. L's getting a very good exchange onto Baby Boy because like he has so much sustain, and the burn gives him the tower back. He doesn't want to take that much damage in trades like that. And wait,
here's the Pantheon.
And here we go, the same exact thing. Pantheon comes in, and Poppy just decides we're gonna ult this. The red team, Phoenix takes Dragon, no problem. That is just so comical. It's like, all right, you're coming in. No, thank you. Maybe that was the response to the
Get
Pantheon.
out of here.
Was the Poppy like, I can deal with your ganks. No, Chainman. Oh, why? He always gets caught. I mean, he is fine right here, right now. There's the ultimate onto the Sim. Sim gets taken down, not Sim. Long Black has been taken down, no problem. And Sim's just going to try and get out of here, get to the rest of his team. That was just the same thing we've been seeing where, like, Chainman is just so far up, and there's now just a very real threat that, like, they're going to have to fight here. There's the... Wait a minute. Rek'Sai goes down so easily to this, to the Rise. There's the ultimate onto the Pantheon. Damage goes out, kills the Leona, and you have, like... Look at how strong Kayle is. She almost gets the execute damage. Wait, and then the snipe from Sim onto the Ezreal. They're chasing down the Vel'Koz, but Vel'Koz is too scared. They might try and get like a cheeky juke here.
Right here.
We're going to get the root onto him. Stun after Pantheon. That was so amazing for Sim, popping off on the Rise.
What a great play by him. I like that flanking, that ultimate behind him to cut off the Vel'Koz.
Yeah, so they're going to go for Baron here. So we're going to see in the bottom right, like the Baron, they're just going to go for it. Poppy is coming down right here. But wait, so this is the start of the fight. The Nautilus gets kind of denied after he tries to get Q, so his hook does get denied by the Poppy W. And there's just so much damage that it takes out the bot lane out of CA4W. We do see that they got the Baron. Good job CA4W. But look at the damage that goes onto Rek'Sai here. Rek'Sai is full health, just completely locked down, executed like instantly. Sim does get stunned, but there isn't that much more follow-up. He flashes the Vel'Koz E, and you see now this is very well communicated between Elvon and Fusion. You see Pantheon didn't really take that much damage. Link is not that strong, and then the snipe from the Ezreal Q was just beautiful. Like I would not have expected that. Kayle can't really get back in here, but the ult cutoff from Rise, like, I'll cut him off with my W, you come in stun afterwards, and that's going to be GG.
Yeah, the cutoff was definitely great, and the play by Rise was great. And I want to point out, actually, that CA4W did great in that fight because, they weren't trying to take that fight. As you said, Chainman got caught out again. But they also didn't have Kayle because Kayle was actually taking the tower in the meantime, so she only joined later. So Rise was really pumping out the damage, considering they didn't even have one of their main damage dealers.
Yeah, so this is actually, it's getting scary because, like, so Vel'Koz is still going to be strong. Vel'Koz can always have this turn. But I think CA4W, now these fights are looking a little bit smarter. I still want Chainman to stop dying. He keeps, like, suiciding for no reason. There's literally no reason for him to be, like, this far forward. I know that he wants to get wards and vision, but, like, if you die, it's just one thing less for your team to have in a team fight. And look, we get the ult onto Sin, and Sin is getting taken down instantly. That is the main carry out of CA4W. Sivir's going to try and get damage here, but they need to peel back. I think they need to get away from this, keep the Baron, and just let Kayle split push. Good job for Phoenix on focusing on the carry. Kayle's actually taking so much damage. She almost dies from the turret damage, and she might actually live this because of how much healing she has. Good job on Elvon. I don't know why he committed to that. Take the flash, run away, or not take the flash, but take the ultimate and run away. We get the disengage from Che. Long Black Cat might actually get a kill onto the Rek'Sai. He doesn't get the kill, and Long Black Cat is strong right now, and he needs to just hold this wave.
Well, he's gonna do what he can, but it's 1v3 and it's taken very low.
Oh, and I was
out.
like, is he going to get the Arcane Shift auto? And he did. Oh, that was very poorly. Like, he got hit by the Vel'Koz Q, and, it was just a lot of, like, micro again. That's important. Wait. Kayle, is she trying to fight mid right now? Hold on. So we're going to watch mid. Kayle goes in and just TPs and dies instantly. There is a fight going, and Ezreal gets a double kill onto Sin. I don't know what just happened here, but I think more than likely this Pantheon's going to die too. Wait, we almost had the snipe from the Vel'Koz, but I think maybe this last W. Poppy comes in, takes him down. Wow.
Yeah, I'm not sure what CA4W was trying to go for there. I mean, you know, Long Black Cat was just trying to hold off because he knew he was alone because Kale was just split pushing, doing her thing top. And I thought Kale would back just to make sure to protect that mid tower at base, but no, she went straight in, like you said, died instantly.
And it was misplay after misplay. Like, this is the good fight from Phoenix. They get the flash knock up and the ultimate from Leona onto Sim. So you see, even though he uses Archangels, he can't live. And then the Vel'Koz stopwatches the Nautilus Q. But I think at this point, Chainman and Long Black Cat, they choose to get out because there's no reason like, okay, we already lost this fight, we have Kale split pushing. Then, you know, see the Kale, gets the 1v1, almost dies here because of the tower shots, which I thought was very funny. But Gunblade, you know, so much more sustained. Kale's going to out-damage a Poppy any day. This isn't where Poppy's not a 1v1 champion like this. So, but this was like, this whole chain of events, it did not stop. You know, it kept going. I don't think Chainman even needed to Q there. Like, Long Black Cat did have the spell shield. And then
in the meantime, we have another fight brewing over here, and you can see Chainman is actually by himself. I wonder who's going to walk up and...
Yeah, maybe just die again. This isn't Infernal. This is very important. Now we see Long Black Cat on the replay. Just all disaster plays from everyone. And it's so funny because I was like, I thought CA4W, you guys are making really good aggressive plays. You saw that Phoenix made a good play, so just get out of it. But then they just keep making these micro mistakes. So there is going to be a fight. Chainman actually cues in after the Poppy knockup. I'm not sure he's going to get it. Blue team actually gets the Infernal. Look at Kale right now sitting in the back with Sim. They are doing so much damage. I don't think this Ezreal is going to be able to live. Ezreal gets taken out no problem. That's almost an ace. Ronan's the only one that's alive right now. They go ult in. And if we can get the stun here from the Pantheon, he's going down. We do get the Zanyas, but Sim is just going to root him. There's no way he's going to live. That's a clean ace. What is going on in this game? This keeps happening. Like, stop it. Stop it, guys. I'm stressed.
This is the back and forth that we wanted to see.
It's exciting. It's good. But I'm like, why is this happening? Like, is this a script? Like, are things scripted right now? Are you guys like, they're like, we're going to have a fun game.
All right, you guys, we're there just trading, right? So,
yeah.
Okay, you win this team fight. We get the next one.
So I think they're going to get this inhibitor here. I see that Thumpy and Baby Boy are about to come up, and you know, literally the entire team's coming up. So they don't really need to do much here. But I also want to know, I wanted to comment on this earlier, but so the Ryze has a death cap. I've seen Ryzes like in like competitive play go really kind of tanky, but like he has gone for the full damage build in Ryze, so he hurts. He's going to get his Zanyas here, I'm pretty sure. And now that he's going to get the Zanyas, he can actually gets his Zanyas. Now he's going to just have another thing. He's not going to be able to get flash ulted by Thumpy like that again.
Now, Baron's coming up here in a minute, so you can... Well, okay, so Phoenix is already moving down there. I'm hoping that CA4W starts moving up there because you got to prepare, you got to put down the vision, because right now, CA4W has no idea what's happening in that Baron pit.
Yeah. I don't think it's really that big of a threat. I mean, Baron is up, and that timer, the gray like hourglass is like I think around 45 seconds to a minute. They can just run in. They're so strong. I don't think they really have to worry about it.
That's true. They are fast, if nothing else.
And if they position this correctly, they could probably just run them down. The Kale is almost full build. She's got the Ginsu, she's got the Nash, she's got the Gunblade. The Sivir now has a Phantom Dancer, so she's left threat from just dying all of a sudden. And I do want to say that Vel'Koz does have like some utility items. He does a lot of damage, but he doesn't have the same effect as Orianna. I think there were so many times like Orianna ult could have worked, but like they banned it for a reason.
He does have 10 kills, though, so he's putting out the damage. He's not bringing as much utility, even though he does have those smaller knockups, and nothing can compare to the Orianna ult, of course. But yeah, I don't think it was necessarily bad. I like him on this Vel'Koz. I think he's doing great.
I don't know. I think it's something like I do like his Vel'Koz, and I think it's working out well. But it's like I think the team around it may not be doing what they want. I do want to say Link he's underperforming very a lot right now because he's down 60 CS to the Sivir, and he is like not having much impact. So this death push might actually end this fight. Depending on who positions going in first. Poppy is going in, not avoiding all the dashes. So they're going to take out this Poppy, no problem. She just gets the knockback, but there's just too much. So you see right now, Kale is just spitting out damage, and Nautilus is fine. He got a stone plate, so he doesn't actually just end. Pantheon's going to go onto this Vel'Koz, silence, or just get him out of the fight, and then Ryze is just going to follow with the Kale. Oh no, and that was a little bit of an overlap, but Rek'Sai's going to die here, and I don't think there's no way that Vel'Koz can survive this. They root him, they throw the Q with Sim, and then take him down. That should be the game. That is a clean ace. You've got like 45-second timers. Baby Boy won't be able to hold it, and that was clean. That
was a great play. I liked Fusion ulting to the backline and going directly onto that Vel'Koz. That was really smart. He wasn't just sort of hanging out up front.
And we also see, I think Kale was 16 in that fight, so that was important for her, just having that extra damage. And my prediction was wrong because I want to say that I think Link was just non-existent. This felt like a 4v6. So good job, CA4W, taking this to the final game between them and Phoenix.